The Italian Wine Podcast is the community-driven platform for Italian wine geeks around the world. Support the show by donating at ItalianWinePodcast.com. Donate €5 or more and we'll send you a copy of our latest book, My Italian Grape Geek Journal, absolutely free. To get your free copy of My Italian Grape Geek Journal, click Support Us at ItalianWinePodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. Grazie mille.
Welcome to Masterclass US Market with me, Juliana Colangelo. This show has been designed to demystify the US market for Italian wineries through interviews with experts in sales and distribution, social media, communications, and so much more. We will quiz each of our esteemed guests at the end of each episode to solidify the lessons that we've learned. So sharpen your pencils, get out your notebooks, and join us each week to learn more about the US market. Hello, welcome to Masterclass US Wine Market. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome Fabrizio Germano to the podcast. Fabrizio is General Manager of Millesima USA, based in New York City. Fabrizio hails from Alba, Italy, and has an extensive background in retail operations, both in Europe and in the US. Most recently, Fabrizio spent 8 years at Eataly USA, and now he's overseeing Millesima USA as General Manager. Welcome to the show, Fabrizio. It's great to have you here.
Buongiorno a tutti. Hello, everybody. Hello, Juliana. Thank you very much for having me. And it's a great honor and pleasure to speak here today.
Absolutely. It's fun to be interviewing in Italian, but in the U.S., so it still fits our theme of Masterclass U.S. market. But nice, of course, to always hear that Italian accent on the Italian Wine Podcast. But Fabrizio, before we dive into today's discussion, and I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit more about O&D sales trends and what's happening, in the off-premise. But first, tell us a little bit more about your journey from Italy and France and now in New York, and how you ended up in the world of wine.
Well, I'm from Alba, a charming small town nestled in south of Piedmont. Alba is the beating heart of the Langhe, the hills that with Roero and Monferrato are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. After graduating in Milan in Trade and Economics, I worked for 2 decades, 17 years of which in Paris, for a European fashion company as a vice president of retail and operations. And in 2015, I followed my wife and children and moved to the US, where I joined the Eataly Group. I opened the New York World Trade Center, Eataly Downtown. I managed it for 3 years and then I was promoted to a corporate leadership position as Director of Indirect Procurement and Facilities for North America.
Oh, wow.
In June of this year, I joined the Millesima Group for this new exciting chapter in my life, center one of my passions, which is the wine. And what's amazing is that throughout my childhood, the wine has always been on the table. And while I was in college, my father became a professional sommelier, and that took my interest in wine to a new level. I wanted to have more in-depth discussion on wine, and so I decided to become a sommelier as well. And my father and I since have enjoyed many engaging conversations on this passion.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And now, with Millesima, I'm able to live my passion every day.
Right. That's incredible. And talk to us a little bit about that transition from working in the fashion industry to working in wine. What was that like?
It's really amazing because, in fact, if you want, fashion means creation, means experience. It's not just covering yourself. It's something related to beauty. And you can find these two inside the hospitality and inside the beverage and food field. So that's why wine for me is also beauty, is something that you create straight from the land, from a grape. And this is so fascinating.
Absolutely. I really like that comparison. It makes a lot of sense. And I'd imagine you find some parallels in the industries. And then the background also that you're bringing from fashion is bringing a unique perspective to this world of wine as well.
Definitely.
Well, Fabrizio, let's dive into today's discussion. We're going to focus on trends that you're seeing in the fine wine market at Millesima USA for Italian wine specifically. What regions are trending? What's selling this holiday season? We know it's been a crazy year, 2023. So we're curious to just understand how the market is responding in the U.S. and what we're seeing in the ground level in retail, especially at this end of the year season. So our three key takeaways for today's masterclass and what we're really excited to learn from you are: number one, the benefits of having both brick and mortar and e-commerce when it comes to off-premise and wine sales. Number two, how the relationships Millesima USA has built over 40 years in the business are taking it to new success in 2024. And finally, number three, and most importantly, what is happening right now with Italian fine wine at Millesima USA, and how is that indicative of the larger market and trends happening in this O&D and holiday season? So let's get into it. For starters, talk to us a little bit about Millesima USA for our listeners who might not be familiar with the company. What's the background, the history, and the history of Millesima USA specifically in New York?
Yes, let's start with Millesima France, because this is a very interesting story. Millesima was founded in 1983 by Patrick Bernard, and he was a merchant, a négociant of Bordeaux Cru Classé. And several years later, Millesima started to reach out directly private consumers through a print catalog. They expanded eventually their wine offering, and they started to market also the products in Europe, in countries like Germany, Italy, Spain. In 1997, Millesima was one of the pioneers to embrace internet as a retail sales system. And since then, Millesima has developed an efficient and user-friendly website that brings together detailed tasting notes, reviews, editorial contents, and promotions, and they provide to the customer the best e-commerce experience possible.
So they were one of the earlier pioneers when it came to the e-commerce.
Definitely, as a tool to reach out the consumers. In 2017, Fabrice Bernard succeeded his father as the president of the company. And for Millesima USA, made its debut in 2006 under the direction of Hortense Bernard, which is Fabrice's sister. And she grew the US branch through e-commerce activity and this brick-and-mortar retail store in New York, Upper East Side in 2nd Avenue. And over the years, the offer of Millesima USA is increased in terms of revenue, references offered, and the quality of service.
Got it. So talk to us a little bit about your role since joining Millesima USA in June and what you're focused on.
Thank you very much for this question. That's not only interesting, but let me share with you my vision of how Millesima will grow and evolve as a fine wine retailer. But first, we need to continue building the visibility of Millesima in the US market through a strong multi-channel communication strategy. Mm-hmm. Then definitely our new flagship store on the Upper East Side that is going to open in February 2024, and I will share more with you later, will also increase our visibility. In addition to that, we want to enhance also the diversity of our portfolio, focusing on producing countries, in particular Italy, and showcasing the top producers across the main regions of the Bel Paese. Mm-hmm. Also, we want to develop a strong B2B, business-to-business relationship with companies across the US. Further, I would say we want to enhance the customer wine experience by sharing our knowledge, our expertise through tasting moments, events. And last but not least, one of the Millesima's distinguishing features is its offering of futures every year. And Millesima wants to become the go-to merchant for customers that are seeking a seamless and I would say a flawless experience for their en primeur purchases.
Okay. So, I mean, where do you see Millesima USA really standing out in the US retail space? Obviously your background coming from Italy, you have that lens, but where do you see Millesima really carving out a unique niche space in retail for the US market?
But first of all, we have a white glove service. We have a talented team of fine wine experts. We have a strong, knowledgeable specialist who help and guide the client to choose the right wine, either in person or online. The second, we have to consider that we have a unique access to the top wines from Bordeaux via the share of Millesima France. And we are offering futures and pre-arrivals with a lead time from 2 to 4 months. And we pride ourselves on having a wonderful range of the best estates in the French wine region, top wines from Italy, US, New World, from iconic producers to everyday values. We try definitely to bring you some of the best wine around the world. But let me say something more, which is very important, is that we always guarantee the provenance of the bottles, whether you wish to buy online or through our New York store. And lastly, we have an excellent customer support, which is supported also by a robust supply chain. Our wines are stored in temperature control warehouse, and we offer the weather-all service to ensure that the quality and the integrity of the wine is there.
Very good. So it's really that, like you said, that white glove, really high level service that you're providing. So
yes,
that tells us that you're dealing with a much more premium, super premium luxury consumer as well. So talk to us a little bit more about the clientele that Millesima USA is servicing and who your buyer is.
Italian Wine Podcast, part of the Mama Jumbo Shrimp family.
I would say that our buyer goes, as I said before, from the everyday values bottles of wine. So we have customers that they come to the store searching for their day-to-day white, already chilled, to customers that they are seeking for rare wines. So it's a very, very big, I would say, portfolio of customers. And this gives us the opportunity to find out gems, no matter what the price is. Because in the wine industry, you can find definitely very good wine as well as these gold mines where you can have the rare wines that we, once again, I say, we store in the proper condition.
Okay, so it sounds like you're really getting a range of clients because you're offering things at different levels, the rare wines, but also the everyday values too.
Correct.
Yeah. So let's transition, Fabrizio, and we're here on the Italian Wine Podcast, and obviously your roots and your background in Italy, and now your role at Millesima USA. We want to know more about the market for Italian wine at Millesima and what you are really seeing that's trending. So, are there any specific regions in the store where you're seeing growth as we go in, head into the end of this year? Talk to us a little bit about what's happening right now with Italian wine specifically at Millesima.
Well, it's very interesting to observe that the global Italian export in the first semester has been basically steady, but in the US, unfortunately, the US sales decreased. But one data that I would like to share is this one, that in the hospitality sector, in restaurant, in the first 8 months of the year, according to the Osservatorio dell'Unione Italiana Vini, the made in Italy has been steady due to the performance of the sparkling wine, notably the spumante.
Okay.
So this gives all the operators of the sector some actions to be taken immediately. The first one is to increase the engagement in the market. So the producers, the consortium, the organizations, they have mostly to be more active, physical and visible have a better presence to promote in the region across the US. And then have a deep analysis of the market, the consumer's age, the habits, the taste, and adapt the price policy accordingly. We know that 2022, after the pandemic, was a great year for the wine, especially the Italian wine. 2023, due to the inflation, due to the economic trend, due to the supply chain very tense, is pretty tough. But
right.
in doing this, and Millesima wants definitely to do all this analysis too, we think that there is an opportunity for Italy wines to get a higher level that they deserve. So in this moment, beside the three top regions, which are Veneto, Piedmont, and Tuscany, that are the top seller, we notice that there are regions that were growing, like the Lombardia, like Friuli Venezia Giulia, like Trentino Alto Adige. And these regions, in the first semester of 2023, they had definitely a spike at 2 digits. And even in our store, we notice this. That's very, very interesting, very interesting for us. And that's why we would like today to expand our portfolio that is, as everybody else, I would say, concentrated with Veneto, Piedmont, and Tuscany, also to other regions of Italy. Let's not forget that in Italy, there are more than 550 native grapes. So
of course,
this gives you a really wide choice. It's a gold mine for the wine lovers. That's amazing.
Definitely. So much to explore and discover. So that's interesting. So you're seeing Lombardia, Alto Adige, Friuli, those regions starting to trend up at Millesima. Why do you think, the concentration is more in the north? What is it? The style of the wines? Is it the profile of the Millesima consumer? Like, why those regions in particular? Do you have any ideas?
I think that the reason is most of the great Italian wines came in the past from this region. Let's talk about the Barolo, the Barbaresco, the Brunelli. Let's talk about the Franciacorta. But nowadays, other regions from the south, they are increasing. Specifically to Millesima, Sicily is one of the regions where we are increasing our sales. And this is very, very important for us. In fact, as I said before, that we would like to expand our offer. We would like to expand our offer also in Campania, where you can have great Taurasi, where you can have great Fiano di Avellino, just to give you a few examples. Of course, the offer of the great, fine Italian wine will always be there.
Right. But also looking to expand the offerings to introduce the buyers to some new regions. As you said, there's so much to explore for wine lovers in Italy, as we know.
One interesting fact is that there are wines that are growing in popularity. Let's take the Gavi from Piedmont. But there are wines that most recently has been discovered by the American consumers, and this thanks to the efforts of certain importers, like Il Timorasso, the Anascetta, so very native. From the Marche, Il Pecorino e la Passerina. So these kind of grapes that produce very interesting and pleasant wine that in the past they were a little bit neglected. And nowadays, thanks, I repeat, for the effort of importers or distributors, are available also for the American consumers.
Right. How are you seeing that translate, though, to the category in general? Would you say, like, what's the larger point there about some of these native grapes becoming more popular in the U.S. market? Like, how are you seeing that translate to what you're seeing at Millesima?
I translate in the fact that this gives us the possibility to reach a wider consumers population.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Barolo lover, so I love the Barolo because one of my favorite grapes is the Nebbiolo.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love wine like the Barbera. but I also
Of
love
course.
a Vernaccia di San Gimignano from Tuscany, but I also love a Catarratto from Sicily or a Ribolla Gialla from Friuli Venezia Giulia. So what I want to say is that there is definitely a wide range of wine that can get a very big and large group of consumers, that they can look for something that is something different, something new.
Right. Attracting a different type of consumer. That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. So, Fabrizio, let's talk a little bit. We're in December right now, so nearing the end of the year. Talk to us a little bit about this holiday season. What have you been seeing in the store? What are people buying for Italian wine? What's with maybe some surprising results of what's happening this OND? What's going on right now in the store?
In the store and online, I would say, because in this holiday season, we started a very, very important offering in terms of gifting wine. And we wanted to make this gifting wine offer as easy as possible for the consumers.
Okay.
So what we have done is we prepared a very great selection for gifting, large celebration. Truly, we have something basically for everyone. In terms of Italian wine, we have the sparkling, Prosecco and Franciacorta, that they go alongside of our iconic champagne promotion with this wide selection of champagne from the Brut, Rosé, Blanc de Blanc in gifted boxes of naked bottles. We do what we call a memorable gift selection. So it's an interesting offer to the customers for which, whatever, I would say for whatever wallet, because it goes from the Bordeaux Classic, Burgundy, the Italian fine wines. We also prepare a pre-made gift set where we offer 3 bottles and we give the customers the possibility to discover the region of Italy, the Bordeaux, the Burgundy, the California, and more. We have a selection of large format bottles. In particular, we have wine from a wide variety region. Because you asked me about Italy, we include Piedmont and Tuscany, the Chianti Classico Fontodi, the Frescobaldi Tenuta della Luce, Luce della Vite, Fontodi Flaccianello, Paolo Scavino Brick del Fiasc, Mascarello Giuseppe, and these in a wide range of sizes, from Magnum to Double Magnum, Jeroboam, up to 12 liters Balthazar or Melchior.
Oh,
Yes.
those are fun bottles.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially for big parties. Yep.
Correct. For the collectors and aficionados, we have old vintages, rare wines, and we have also a great value wines section, wines from a different price range, under $25, under $50, under $100, under $300. We also give the possibility to the customer to have gift cards because we have more than 300 different Italian wines. And overall, we have a selection of, in total, 2,900 wines. And we design, as I said before, a B2B offer. We design a corporate gifting offer that includes gift ideas, fine wines, sparkling for employees, clients, partners, or corporate events.
So really you have something for everyone, which is great. Corporate offerings, Jeroboams, but also things under $100 and at more reasonable price points as well. So that's great.
Yeah, if we wanted to talk about some of the great fine Italians, we picked some of them, like the Biondi Santi, Brunello di Montalcino Riserva, 2015, Anantinori Tenute a Tignaniello Solaia, 2017, Montevertine Le Pergole Torte, 2018 and 19, Luciano Sandrone,
Beautiful.
Cannubi Boschis, Barolo, 2012, Angelo Gaia Barbaresco, Sori San Lorenzo, 2020, and we go through Emidio Pepe, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, 1993, o Dal Forno Romano Amarone della Valpolicella, 2006. These are among the fine, great Italian wines that a Millesima can offer.
Great. Yeah, and those are classics, iconic wines for the holidays. Fabrizio, as we wind down our time, I just want to give you the opportunity. Are there anything new coming up with Millesima USA? You mentioned in your store, so tell us a little bit more about what's coming next year.
We are so excited for this. In fact, in February 2024, we are going to open a new flagship of 5,200 square feet. This flagship is going to be 4 sections: the arrivals for day-to-day wines, the archives for the top quality wines from all over the world: Champagne, Burgundy, Bordeaux, Italy, Spain, New World. A forum, which is a circular room that is going to be reserved for the most iconic wines in our range, from Grand Cru, Premier Grand Cru Classé, great Champagne, Super Tuscans, great Italians, Reds, and the spirits, a section dedicated to fine spirits with some gems that will let our consumers discover.
Amazing.
This new flagship is going to, for us, a great opportunity. Our wine specialists, we can engage even more closely with our customers. And for our New York clients, we wanted the new store to be more than their neighborhood bottle shop. We want the store to be their wine library, where they can come over to discover new references, revisit the favorites, discuss about wine, taste it alongside our specialists and suppliers, and share their impressions. And for the customer outside of New York, I think are already familiar with our offering through our nationwide e-commerce activity. The flagship store is the embodiment of the Millesima values: a top-tier customer service, the passion for wine, the expertise, the careful storage, and the care of each of our bottles. In long story short, it's the brick and mortar space that represents the pride we take in preserving the wines, and we're also proud to carry and share this passion with our customers. And of course,
Exciting.
We hope that the customer across the US would come to visit us.
Absolutely. That's very exciting. I can't wait to see the new space next year. I really like the way it's the organization you mentioned of having it by category, but also by occasion of, entry level or more everyday wines to collectors wines. I think that's a really smart way. And I'm excited to see how it turns out and see the layout. So that's very exciting. Well, Fabrizio, thank you so much for joining us today in the Italian Wine Podcast. As we wind down, we'd like to do our rapid fire quiz for everybody on the show. So if you can do your best to answer these questions in just 1 or 2 sentences, that would be great. So question number 1, what is your number 1 tip for mastering the U.S. wine market?
I would say guaranteeing the provenance, high quality of service, and the integrity of the product.
Great advice. Number 2, what is something you might have told your younger professional self about selling wine in the U.S.? You've been at this now for a while, so what is some advice you might have given yourself when you started?
Personalized, authentic customer service is the key to drive loyalty to the business.
Yeah, I think that's a really great reminder for all of us. And finally, number 3, we all travel a lot in these jobs. What is your number 1 travel hack when traveling back to Italy or just across the country for various things?
Well, honestly, I don't hack, but there is one thing I value when I travel doing market work is deliberately taking the time to establish a personal connection with the people.
Yeah, that's related to what you said earlier about just being authentic and personalized outreach. I think that goes such a long way and such an important reminder. So thank you for sharing those insights. So Fabrizio, thank you again for joining us today. How can our listeners connect with you and follow along with everything that's happening with Millesima USA?
Well, following through our website, www.millesima-usa.com. They can contact me at fgermano@millesima.com, And honestly, if they want to call me, 646-918-9644. As I said
Okay.
before, personal connection with people is the
I love that. That's great. So many ways to connect with you. Fabrizio, thank you again. Good luck with the rest of the holiday season and the opening next year. We can't wait to visit Millesima in 2024.
Thank you very much, and happy holiday to everybody.
Happy holidays.
And salute.
Thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned each week for new episodes of Masterclass US Wine Market with me, Juliana Colangelo. And remember, if you enjoyed today's show, hit the like and follow buttons wherever you get your podcasts.